Hey team, episode 2 is in full swing now, and plenty of wardens came back to check out the new character and give ranked mode a try over the weekend. I've got several thoughts for you, but before we get into it, if you're interested in staying up to date with Highguard, please be sure to subscribe so I can bring you the news and my thoughts. But now, let's talk about the first weekend with episode 2. To start off here, I feel like I need to retcon some points from my previous video. The first is the character's name. Now, before anything came out about the new character, I had referred to him as Icon. Turns out his name is actually Econ, like the homework that you always put off before doing it right before class at the last minute. The second is about his dread ability. Now, for some reason when I was reading through it, I thought that the ability was to let you see the players on your team that are wounded, and any reasonable person would correctly assume that the dread ability was to show enemies that are wounded and not your teammates. Silly me. And while we're on the topic of Econ, I suppose I should chat about him a little bit. I don't really know how I feel about him, if I'm being honest. He doesn't feel super overpowered, but in the right hands, I think he could be kind of game breaking. His dread ability and ultimate are kind of like wall hacks. Anytime an enemy takes damage, they are shown to the entire team until that player dies or Econ dies, or they get their health back. The effect doesn't last as long as Condor's ability does, but it can really change the way that teams are made up. It almost feels like you have to have one on your team now, and I don't know how I feel about that. That being said, playing against him does kind of make you feel like dreadful. If you know that whenever you get hit and the entire enemy team is going to know where you are until you die or get your health back, that's terrifying. All of that to say, the rest of Econ is really cool. I like his wolf form. I thought that might be a bit overpowered since he is the fastest player in the game when he's mounted, but you don't have the ability to shoot at other players when you're in that form, and he isn't that much faster than other players. The bite ability is pretty cool too, and I don't think it feels that super overpowered. There is a bit of a risk reward when you go in for the bite as well, since players are able to shoot at you the entire time you're going for the bite, and they can continue shooting at you after the bite takes place. Now, full disclosure, I'm not typically a person who screams that characters are overpowered. I like to think that when something new is added to a game, the developers test it quite a bit to make sure that their vision is the way that they want it to be. I feel like calling for nerfs or buffs in video games to a character or a weapon just causes more division across the community. That said, I think Econ could use a bit of fine-tuning. If I could do anything, I think that I would change Dread to continue to be a passive ability, but instead show the player's position within a range, or for only 1 or 2 beats and only to Econ the player, not the entire team. I think this would make it so that only the player can get the ability to see where other players are instead of everyone, and that just might make it feel a little bit more fair. Overall, I think Econ is a cool addition to the game, but I think the jury is still out on him a little bit. In the right hands, he could be game breaking, but in my hands, he's certainly underutilized. Also included in episode 2 is ranked mode. Now there are 7 ranks here, each with 3 different divisions from bronze to gold, then platinum, diamond, master, and grandmaster. Take a look at this grandmaster icon with the title of Leviathan. More on that in a coming video, I think. Click that subscribe button if you want to be notified whenever that drops. From the looks of things, each episode is going to have 2 halves that are called splits. At the start of each split, you will retain your division, but at the beginning of each episode, you'll be sent back 6 division or 2 full ranks. You can pause the video here if you want to take a look at the ranked rules that are available inside of the ranked screen in Headwall, or you can head over to the link in the description that will take you to the news section of the official website. Another addition to episode 2 is the inclusion of the stats screen. Here you can see your team stats with how many games you have won and raids that you've won, your personal stats, information such as kill to death ratio, and other stats. As you can see, I am very good at this video game. Over the weekend, I think I played 6 games of ranked, and I lost every single one of them. I'm glad that ranked is part of the game now, as it seems to have brought back a few people, but I'm quickly reminded how bad I am at this type of game whenever I play ranked. Other players are just way too good at these things for me, and obviously I still enjoy it, but I feel like I went up against stacks of threes all the time in solo play, and I just got stomped. And maybe now that all the good players have had time to get up into the higher ranks, then I'll have a little bit of a chance, but we'll see. I might not play much ranked, I don't know. I spent a bit of time trying to snipe, and while I was doing a decent job of hitting my shots, it didn't really matter because these players that I was playing against were using the Vanguard to just shoot lasers at me the entire time across the map, and I was dead before I could get my second round off. I might just stick to traditional 3v3 for a while until I can really figure this game out. To quickly touch on some other features that were added here, the 30-second start helps get things going, I think, at the beginning of the match, but to me it feels kind of too quick. I like to listen to the back and forth between the characters at the beginning of the match, and I want to listen to them, but I don't really have time to improve the walls and mount up before charging out if I want to listen to them. I think if they expanded it to like 40 seconds or 45 seconds, then that would be perfect. Making the speed zones available at all times is a nice touch. I forget about them quite a bit, but when you find them, they do help with getting you back into the game quickly if you're dying, and they help you reposition quickly during the gear up phase if you really want to get to a special marker zone before anyone else does. For the Masterwork weapons, I really like these, but I wish there was a way you could see the improvements to weapons and their different rarity levels in the Collections tab on Headwall. Currently, the only way to see them outside of a match is you have to go into the firing range and then press T or whatever the button is on console, and then you can click through them that way. I think a small quality of life improvement would be able to see them in the Collections menu at Headwall. But that's going to just about do it for me. What do you all think of the updates to Episode 2? Do you think Econ is overpowered, or is that just the first weekend's impressions and exaggerations? Have you gotten to play a lot on Skydrift at all? Let me know your comments down below. I'm hoping to spend a bit more time in the coming weeks and days here learning more about the game and the lore. If you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and subscribe if you're new here, and I will catch you next time.